we're live. Hello, welcome to the Limited Six Wheel podcast with me, Alistair Cowan, also known as Ali.
And me, Derek Lewis, also known as Derek.
No, Desky.
Is it?
Yeah, Desky.
Desky.
It's Ali and Desky's
Desky, yeah.
So let's get through today. I hope you enjoyed. We've got a few songs we're going to play. Our third member today, unfortunately, Ian Much, who's our technical and musical genius, unfortunately can't be with us today, mainly because of his fairly ghastly and horrific appearance.
Very sad.
It's very sad. There's a story behind it, actually. It's a tragic and very, very true one. That, how can I put this? He was considered to be persona non grata in utero, if you understand what I mean by that.
Yeah,
So I think Latin is probably the appropriate language to use in order to show full respect for
any kind of language that isn't very descriptive.
Yeah, any language that obfuscates and makes it difficult to understand what I'm talking about. I think is good.
French would work. Yeah.
So it led to a tragic and ultimately a
boulangerie.
That's just French. It led to an ultimately tragic and unsuccessful attempt by Ian's mother with a Magimix handheld blender, which left him a little affect, with some facial scarring. Look, I'm not going to lie, he looks like a kind of burst spam. All right, it's not nice.
You like this one? He went to pieces.
He did went to pieces. So funny, isn't it? It's
good.
So it's very difficult for him to be seen in public. I think apparently he's actually banned from the internet. You're not allowed to see his face, and that's even with a parental filter in place, which is ironic given his mother's own attempt at having a parental filter. Ian. But anyway, that was the attempt, and that's what ended up to Ian. I think the old methods were the best, Derek. Don't about you?
Absolutely, the old coat hanger and bottle of gin.
Bottle of gin in the bath.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yep.
Or a bath full of gin.
Yep, like your mother used to do,
Yes.
Ian. Not us, not our mothers, just yours.
Our mothers are good people.
We were wanted.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we're going to move on. Derek, what's up next?
Is your head bigger than mine?
Yes.
Right.
No. One of the heads is closer than the other.
Sure.
Yeah. It's. Can we do it if we go just the same?
Right. Same time.
Distance
1, 2,
away.
3, go. Yeah.
Sure.
Anyway, right.
Okay,
moving
on. Today, every week, we are going to have a specific theme based around one of our wonderful songs that the hideously deformed Phantom of Glasgow, Ian Much, has created for us. And some videos, he's not dead. He's ugly.
Well, God bless him then.
Yeah, okay. And this week, we're going to be looking at birth and childhood. So, some of the most fundamental things that happen in a person's life. Derek, what are your earliest memories of life?
I remember a blinding light, and then pretty much I woke up when I was 15.
Okay, that's not a very early memory.
Right. You mean earlier than 15?
Yeah, earlier than 15, yeah, that's
right, okay.
Considered quite a late memory.
Okay, so when are we talking, like babies?
Well, what's the first thing you remember ever seeing?
The first thing I remember ever seeing was my parents' knees.
Okay, and can you tell me a bit more about that? Was there anything specifically about the knees of your parents that you enjoyed seeing?
I think they were quite distinct looking things. In fact, I don't even know if they're my parents. It could have been somebody else's knees. I'm not sure.
So they were just random knees?
Yeah. In fact, I've never met my parents.
Okay.
They left before I was born.
I see. My earliest memory actually is I can remember falling in water, the Story Burn near East Kilbride, where my parents stayed at the time, and I remember looking up through the water. The Story Burn,
right.
And my sister was standing there looking down at me pitilessly, doing nothing to help.
Yeah, with her foot on your head.
Yeah. That's funny enough. That's also one of my most recent memories as well. Yeah, it happens quite a lot. So that's the early memories. And if anyone's got any ideas out there, anything they want to communicate with us, remember you can go in the group. The group chat is always open there for you.
Let us know your earliest memories.
Yeah.
Or latest memories, or just a memory in general.
Just memories.
Can you remember stuff?
Like the corners of your mind.
Let us know stuff that you remember or think you remember.
So there's also What's the most evocative part of childhood for you, Derek?
Well, I think it's the things that are missing nowadays that you can remember, like when you were a little boy, like white dog jobbies.
Yes.
What happened to them?
Yes.
You know, they don't exist anymore.
Do you know why that is?
Well, enlighten me.
It's because of the use of a chalk in the manufacture of dog food.
Wow.
Which stopped in the late 1970s.
Uh-huh.
And as a result, we have the familiar dark brown.
So, when I was a wee boy, yes. I could have used that white dog jobby to draw pictures on the pavement.
Yes, we could have, yeah, or yeah.
Jesus.
You could have took it into school with you.
That's just an opportunity missed there.
Absolutely, and the teacher would have thanked you.
She would have. For
providing with her fighter splicer. Just
yeah. Club feet.
Don't see them anymore.
Nope, don't see them anymore. What happened to them?
Well, you wouldn't, because they're encased in shoes.
Shoes, yeah. But I just feel sorry for like the man who made those shoes, though. Mm-hmm. Because there must be somebody that was their trade, and he's just sitting in his shed now with piles of club shoes. That's the right word.
One of those kind of platform thing.
Yeah, one platform shoe.
No, I think it was the 70s.
Yeah.
So there was a big market for platform shoes.
Yeah,
so
one shoe just.
But then all you need to do was change his equipment slightly to make both a left and a right shoe, and then he'd be able to sell those built-up shoes to glam rock artists such as the Sweet or Thin Lizzy. I think no.
You can never find those shoes. Surely, like the amount of people we've seen walking about in the 70s with those club shoes on.
No, they didn't have club feet. They were glam rockers.
One,
but they were a cape.
So they were just one shoe, right? Okay, but surely one of them would have turned up somewhere by now.
They weren't terribly committed to their glam rock status.
In a charity shop or something.
That is true.
Oh, you like this one, or at a boot sale?
That's very good. Well, one of the things we're going to do now is, as we go along, is Derek's got a penchant for dad jokes. He is the progenitor of several people.
Ali loves them, so I just do it for him.
And we're going to have a sort of klaxon, or potentially I are good in favour of electric shocks, but I was talked out of it by the police. So what we're going to do is, every time it happens, we're going to set up a klaxon right in his ear until he has to be quiet.
Okay.
So, any other memories for you?
Spangles.
What about smells? What smells do you recall?
I remember the smell of things like cremola foam. So sweet smells, and my granny's house is a smell. The smell from there, it was like fresh bacon, not as in pork bacon, baking, like scones and
bacon.
Yeah, my gran smelled of bacon. I was brought up by pigs. No, scones and pancakes.
Oh, baking.
Yeah, baking.
Yeah. I can't say I remember that.
You weren't at my granny's house.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. And there was another thing about my granny. My granny and her friends used to sit in the kitchen with them making the scones and just smoke endless fags. And then there was the casual fart. I remember that. Like my granny would go, "You want a biscuit, son?" and bend over.
Yeah, well, that's an old lady thing, isn't it?
And just completely ignore it. And meanwhile, me and my brothers are rolling about laughing.
What are you to do as an older woman?
Well, I'll find out one day.
One day you will.
One day I'll find out.
One day you will be an older woman.
I will be an older woman, bending down and farting.
One thing that used to amaze me was the desperate desire to train children to smoke. It was a big thing back then. Yeah. I remember you had cigarette sweeties. People don't believe it. I tell young people that stuff nowadays, and they say, "I don't believe a word of that."
Sweet cigarettes,
and a wee packet.
Tobacco flavored chewing gum.
Do you remember sweetie tobacco though?
Yeah,
it looked like tobacco.
It looked like tobacco. You ate it. Yeah.
And you rolled it into a joint. You
smoked
put a filter in it, and then you smoked it.
Smoked it. Yeah. And my dad used to kid on and actually give me real tobacco
and make me eat it.
And make me eat it. And I'd be like, happy to have packet. He'd be on about laughing.
That's good. Yeah.
Good.
Well, I do remember having my hands used in an ashtray quite a lot. That was something we used to do with children.
I'm sorry about that.
That wasn't you.
All right, sorry.
This was an older gentleman.
Okay.
Older even than you. And yeah, they would make you put your hand out. So put your hand out and then go and dash in it, and then burn your hand. Fucking burn you.
Yeah, it's like my grandpa smoked a pipe. He used to tap it on the back of my head.
Yeah.
You know, but we
Did so.
enjoyed it. We enjoyed
Did
it.
so. And you've never been quite the same since, I think I'm right to say.
Or before that.
No, even before.
Before that, I wasn't the same.
It was. Indeed.
I remember somebody like I was meeting some. This is completely unrelated to childhood, but it just kind of. I was to meet someone in Glasgow, like in Central Station, and my friend like said, "How will they recognise you?" I said, "Well, just tell them that I used to have a moustache." They're like, "Okay."
Did it work?
Never
Did
met
they
them.
find you?
Yeah, no.
No.
As far as I know, they're still waiting there.
Cautionary tale there. Never use non-existent facial features as a method of communication or identification.
Take that on board, kids.
So,
just so you know.
Other smells of childhood. What about smells? Let's go back to that again. So, how did your pig-smelling grandmother farting in the biscuits?
Yeah, farting in biscuits.
What else have we got?
There's another thing about that as well. Is like there was three old women used to sit in there, and like when you're saying smoke, it was just you could cut the smoke by knife in there. But they used to make noises as well. I don't know. Old people don't seem to make the same noises they used to make. Like there was an old woman, Janet. She used to have this thing where every now and again she'd be saying something, and then she'd punctuate it by going. And then there was another, like my auntie Janet. She'd make. So like you had my granny bending over a biscuit. So it was like a symphony in there, and you don't get things like that anymore.
Well, the thing I've heard other people speak about this. It's not an original observation, but I had an uncle who communicated in sort of noises, clicks, and sounds a bit like a dolphin.
Was he from South Africa? He's a walking carry-on film.
He was saying, I think he ended up in a psychiatric hospital. I'm not entirely sure, but he certainly couldn't actually. He was a lovely man. He was very generous with his time because he had quite a lot of it.
Yeah, was that the guy with ashtray?
Yeah. He also had a concave section in his skull, which he could use as ashtray for himself.
He wasn't really your uncle.
It was fun to know. No, he wasn't. I
just
imagined that.
He followed you home from school one day, and that was
the dream I had.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. Another school thing, actually, that just brings that to me, is mass hysteria. Did you ever have any episodes of that at your school?
Yeah, just personally.
But my primary school, Unthank is obviously the inspiration for Unthank in the novel Lanark by Alistair Gray, which is a hellish dystopian nightmare.
Yeah, and the inspiration for Apocalypse Now, I believe as well.
Absolutely. And there was a rumour around there was a man who would chase you across the fields and obviously murder you. And his name was Papa Dummy.
Papa Dummy?
Papa Dummy.
Yeah.
Which I think is possibly the best name for a scary character I've ever heard.
Papa Dummy.
This was tiny children come up with this stuff.
Papa Dummy.
Papa Dummy's going to get you.
Remember, we used to have like warnings when I was a wee boy. Like somebody in the village would say, watch now because there's a prowler around.
I should point out Derek comes from a village. He's a rural
prowler. You don't get prowlers anymore. You get paedophiles, but you don't get prowlers.
Jim, that's just Chris House.
Watch out for the prowler. What's that?
We'll just give you a message for dinner. Just come up there. Somebody's getting us a pizza.
Thanks for that.
Not a viewer though, unfortunately.
That very well-meaning viewer there.
That's very nice of you. So I was thinking as well, what the smell of milk. Do you remember milk?
Milk, yes, I remember milk. We used to have milk when I was a child as well.
Fruit.
But yeah, I can't. When did you see your first banana? Can you remember?
1940s, I think.
40s, yeah. 50s.
Just after rationing ended.
Yeah. But the smell of milk, you mean like at primary school in the morning when you had to bring the milk in?
Warm and sweet.
The Janny had left it sitting next to the radiator. And by the time you got it, it was
just sewer. Off. Yeah. That's particularly
good
pungent odour. Certainly not particularly good for you. Perhaps Margaret Thatcher was unfairly maligned back in the 1970s when they did say Maggie Thatcher milk snatcher.
God bless her.
And all who see her. So there's a thing. There's Margaret Thatcher long gone now. It's been a few years.
Yeah. Well, my only criticism is like, why couldn't she have died sooner? You know, she owed us that.
It was inconsiderate. Yeah,
she owed us that.
And also the fact that she'd lost all her senses. I believe, my understanding is by the end that she didn't really know who she was or anyone else was.
Who did she think she was?
I think she's. I'm sorry, but our persistent stalker is sending messages again.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Okay. Well, we don't really know. No one knows now.
Yeah, perhaps like the whole Margaret Thatcher thing was just a ruse.
Perhaps there was no such person.
It was just an actor.
It seems like a bad dream.
Yeah. But
Thatcher.
I think she must have been a real person because nobody in the right mind would have made somebody that evil.
Well, you know, I always wondered about that.
Stephen King couldn't have imagined
Semi-serious for just one moment.
Okay.
I don't believe that people that are like right-wing and Tories and stuff are actually thinking to themselves, right, I'm a horrible, horrible person.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm going to be doing in my life because I'm an utter bastard.
So
I don't believe that can be true.
Let's open up a bit. Like, so do you think Hitler thought he was a bad person?
I've read a lot of books about Hitler. It's been
Oh,
a bit of a fascination of mine. Hitler and Stalin and
Tell me when you walk.
Interesting. Yeah, that's where it came from, really.
Yeah.
Started off with a good step and then we progressed from there. Well, I mean, people that knew him, you know, before he became a sort of dictator, felt he was an odd, very strange individual.
Yeah.
But not that he was inherently evil. And he liked his dog.
He did like a vegetarian.
He was vegetarian.
Lovely blue eyes,
He
apparently.
could draw.
He could draw, yeah. Didn't get any arts going, I think. That's what flipped him.
Yeah.
But, so let's open it up to the viewers. Hitler, was he all bad?
Good or bad?
Yeah.
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 Let's kick that one around.
So Stalin, what do you think?
Stalin, interesting guy. I could actually recommend a book by a guy called Simon Sebald Montefiore, who's a historian. The book's called In the Court of the Red Tsar, which I can highly recommend. Brilliant history of Stalinism and communism. Yeah. He was an extraordinarily efficient administrator. Managed to stay in power till he died, which you can't say about Hitler. Well, you can say that about Hitler.
Well,
but Hitler killed himself, so that's not quite the same.
But did he? Yeah, did he?
Although I did see a thing on Netflix the other day. It was about how Hitler actually ran away to Paraguay or Argentina.
Argentina, I heard.
Argentina.
Well, somebody down the pub told me it was Argentina.
Well, man, the pub always knows these things. It was preposterous rubbish because what they did in the dramatisation was they had a man dressed up to look as much like Hitler as humanly possible, which I hazard to guess is not what Hitler did when he ran away to Argentina.
No, he would have dressed as a woman or something.
Yeah, or with a bucker.
Did he still have
the very least shaved?
Did he still have the moustache?
He still had the moustache.
No, that's the least thing you would.
In the uniform, the full uniform.
But like Clark Kent taking his glasses off.
Surrounded with the Wehrmacht. You know, it was like a huge torchlight procession up and down to his house every night. It was just preposterous. That would never happen.
No, he dressed as a woman.
So, yeah, well,
so how did he get to Argentina? Was it a submarine?
It was, yeah.
A submarine?
It would have been.
Right. Not an airship.
Well, I don't know.
Airplane.
Would you go in an airship?
Hot air balloon.
Would you go in an airship?
I don't know. It's pretty slow, isn't it?
Very.
Pretty slow. Submarine, I think you're under the water, you're out of the way. The Hitler sub.
Yeah.
Could
be the way to go. Although famously some Scottish football fans apparently went to the World Cup in Argentina in 1978.
In a submarine?
In a submarine.
Wow. Is that a true story?
That's apparently a true story. I would love to, if anyone's watching and knows about this, if we could get hold of the guy,
if you were on
people that were on it. I wasn't on it personally, neither were you.
No.
And it would be good to speak to them about that because it's an extraordinary story.
Kidnapped Archie Gemmill.
Okay. So, moving on slightly. So, I'm going to play a song now. Oh, actually, we're not, because we're going to sit here and drink my tea for 5 minutes. And Ian, the horrendously disfigured man, is going to, isn't it? Is going to add a wee video in here, which words by me, music by Ian, nothing whatsoever to do with Desky.
No.
Don't worry, and that's who can take the blame.
But I was the inspiration, I think.
He was in too many things.
If you like it, it was me.
So, speak in a minute.
When I was a boy, we played marbles, not cricket, which was good as our legs were all fucked 'cause of rickets. Constantly hungry and pieces were feasts that you had when not been molested by priests. The neighbors were filthy and bigoted scum who hated all races no matter where from. We all worked in the factory that flogged you to death till you threw lungs with your very last breath. The air was befouled with a cancerous haze. Oh, how I long for those good old days. Oh, how I long for those good old days.
Okay, so welcome back. After the song, hope you enjoyed that.
I thought it was great, especially the bit that I wasn't in.
That was all of it.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so first thing I want to announce is a wee competition winner. We have only very recently started up a Facebook page and a group that people can participate in, and you'll find a limited sex appeal on Facebook. If you search for that, that'll come up. It's an open group, anyone can join it. You don't need to get permission or anything. It's open to the public entirely. Usual rules apply, no racist stuff, misogyny, homophobia. We're not particularly uptight, but we're not going to put up with anything that people may find offensive, so don't do that.
No flat earthers either.
Well, nothing like, either
Yeah.
anti-vax people, mad folk like that.
Yeah, no mad people. Well,
no, mad
are
people.
fine. Mad people are fine.
No, mad people are kind of necessity, really,
Yeah. Well, anybody then. Yeah, anybody.
within reason.
Within reason, yeah. But no, doesn't matter. No, doesn't matter. Anybody.
Anyway, so the group, so and you will see that song again if you want to listen to it back again. If you get a deranged desire to listen to that again, that's
a great song.
Great, it's a good song.
Great song. Yep. Christmas number one.
We're going to have a different song every week with a different theme, and that was about the good old days. We were inspired by the nostalgia that's going on in the world at the moment. People want to hark back to a past that we imagine was better than their present, and that's almost certainly not the case. Because the world was a fucking shit heap for quite a long time. So
I remember the 80s.
Yeah,
yeah,
it was bad. Yeah,
bad.
We grew up and people, obviously climate change we have now, but nuclear annihilation was always a big thing for us there.
That was a big thing. Yeah, I remember like at school when they came and give you the kind of plan of where Hunterston was and like the subs like up in the Clyde, and then they said, and this is the wipeout zone. If you're in this zone, you're going to be fine because it'll just be a flash. You're gone. Outside here, you might get radiation poisoning and like take a few weeks to die. Here, you're going to be suffering for years. And the zombie apocalypse was just outside that bit.
Well, yeah, I mean, absolutely. So they always would say, the
over by Cumnock.
The living will envy the dead.
Yeah, which kind of explains a lot, really.
Well, that's also true in Cumnock all the time. That's
we had what do you call it, Chernobyl?
I should mention there's people watching this probably that don't come from Ayrshire or even Scotland for that matter. And maybe need to explain. Cumnock's usually a bit of a joke. So maybe need to explain the sort of place it is. Derek, could you maybe give me a little bit of explanation there?
Cumnock. Let me explain one thing. There's two Cumnocks. One of them is called New Cumnock.
Yes.
And New Cumnock is older than Cumnock. That kind of is it in a nutshell for me.
That's the kind of level of people you're dealing with.
When Michael Jackson was researching Thriller, he went to Cumnock like on a Monday morning and like thought nobody's ever going to believe that. So he had to like adapt the makeup for that video.
That's where the dance came from.
Lovely place though. People, hearts of gold. Yeah, but great place. Lovely place. Great place.
So that's coming up. So we might allude to Cumnock quite a lot, in future podcasts because it's such a horrendous place. It's shorthand for horror.
Or Airdrie.
Or Airdrie. Yeah, but it's, well, the whole entire central belt actually, Scotland.
Yeah.
Or have you ever been to Stevenage, Derek?
Stevenage. No, I haven't.
Hertfordshire.
Never been to
Never
Stevenage.
been there?
No. I have been to Sutton Coldfield though, which is
grim.
Pretty hideous.
Yeah. Kind of most of the northeast, isn't it?
You ever been to Hull?
I haven't, no.
Oof. That's the t-shirt I've been to Hull and back.
Really?
Yes.
Good one.
Uh-huh.
Wigan. Well, there's a casino in Wigan.
Is there?
Was that? Well,
Wigan's okay. I thought it was all right, but it's not on a par with Cumnock.
No. Very few places are.
Cumnock. Good name for a brothel.
So, moving on. So, Caroline Martin, you will be pleased to hear that you are our winner of the 100th person that signed up to be on our podcast group. So, a wee prize will be winging its way to you just directly.
You won a star prize!
You did win the star prize. She won the only prize. No other prizes.
Star prize.
Only one. You might be just very, very disappointed. You might be overjoyed. It really depends on how mentally well you are today.
Yeah. How desperate you are
Okay.
for a connection to the outside world.
Okay. So, carry on with our theme from earlier on, though. We're talking about childhood, and we're talking about the best songs about childhood. Derek, have you had a think about anything that you would like to discuss?
Right. I think your tastes change as you get older. So, like, I think my favourite songs from childhood would be something like, remember the Clive Dunn thing? Grandad. Or like, and he painted Matchstick Man and Matchstick Cats and something like that. Something along those lines.
That's nice.
Blah, 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 having a clog. There's a brush and weights, something about factory gates and painted matchstick things and things upon a log. Something like that.
That was the one. That was
Yeah.
the lyrics were.
I remember it like it was yesterday. Like it was yesterday.
That was Brian and
So-
Michael, I believe they were called.
Yes, I remember that one. That was one of my favourites. And
Famously written about the poet. No,
the
not
poet,
the poet.
the poet
Not a
Ellis
poet.
Lowry,
The artist
who painted
Ellis
some
Lowry.
pictures as well.
who famously painted pictures of matchstick men.
And not a lot of people know about his poetry, so well done.
Not a lot.
Well done, Ali.
I never saw any matchstick cats and dogs though in anything he drew.
Yeah, no,
And
they
that would have
weren't,
been rubbish.
they weren't made by made of matchsticks. That would have been interesting. But I once seen a whole like model of the Taj Mahal made of matchsticks.
Mhm.
That was amazing.
Was it good?
Anyway, yeah,
Did you see that?
on the telly. So, right, there was Bright Eyes, Art Garfunkel. That is one of my earliest memories of a
Yeah.
song like I loved, and I used to go about singing that at people. I didn't.
Yeah.
Just at people.
It's beautiful.
They were smacking me away.
But this was, forgive me for wrong, Derek. This it was on this like 2 weeks ago when you discovered Spotify for the first time. You typed it in.
Yeah.
It's been
Yeah.
singing it ever since.
Yeah.
Constantly.
It's a
High
great tune.
pitched whine.
It's a great tune. The production in that song is amazing.
It is gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's written by Mike Batt of Wombles fame.
Did you know Mike Batt also wrote the Katie Melua song?
About bicycles.
Closest thing to crazy.
Ah.
Mike, the Wombles Batt.
He's written quite a few in his time.
He has that, but none better than Wombling Merry Christmas.
It's a
Come
good
on.
one. The one that always I find a bit odd is remember you're a Womble, as if you would ever forget you're a
How
fucking
could you
Womble. Yeah. It's
Yeah, there's no way you're going to forget you're a Womble.
Yeah.
If you woke
One-
up as a Womble,
One
morning,
look in the mirror,
yeah.
you can know straight away if you're Tomsk.
Gregor Samsa woke up one morning to discover he had been
Very-
transformed into a
Very
giant.
different meaning for
What
the word
is it?
Kafkaesque.
What is a Womble?
We don't know. Maybe some kind of rat.
It's a rat. It's kind of rat-like,
It's got a kind of a snout thing.
and they're always like rolling about in the rubbish.
Yeah.
That's a strange idea for a
Yeah,
children's
yeah,
character.
they hang around in parks at night.
Yeah, you just wouldn't get away with that now.
Although they've brought it back though as like an environmental thing. They
they?
had like a
Well, I can see the message.
there was like a tramp Womble that
Right.
had like dreadlocks and stuff and
A tramp Womble.
perhaps not a trap. Dreadlocks, a kind of climate activist
So how
type.
did
Stuff.
how did it
Like
speak?
trees and shit.
How did it speak? What did it sound like?
Yeah, talk like that, man. I better do that. Just that. I can't.
So do it again.
No, I better not.
Please.
No, because people will be
Ah.
offended. I'll get people that'll get attacked,
Yeah.
and then they get cancelled again.
Okay.
It was that kind of North London patois it's spoken.
Right.
Okay,
well,
so
Wimbledon's north.
it is.
Is it?
Yeah,
North
I think so.
London?
I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so English correspondents can maybe let us know about that.
Where is Wimbledon?
Wimbledon is
England.
somewhere in London. I think.
Yeah. Near London.
Covered in
Is
Wombles.
it in London? Wimbledon
Yes,
in London.
it's-
Yeah.
it's-
Wimbledon's part of
it's-
London.
So anyway,
Yeah.
that was Wombles.
Geography lesson.
Okay, absolutely.
Every day's a school day.
Isn't it just?
hmm
Yeah.
So the Wombles, rats
Basically,
on hind legs,
walking anthropomorphized rats.
rummaging about in the rubbish,
Yep.
hanging about parks at night.
Yep.
Scaring children.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why didn't
Enjoyed it back then.
Yeah.
So my songs, I think more about songs that are about childhood, not songs that I remember from childhood.
Mhm.
I think you
All right.
willfully misinterpreted me in order
Probably.
to be able to talk about what the
Wombles,
Wombles and rats.
yeah. Any opportunity I get to talk about Wombles.
So what did I have in mind? I thought, let me think. So see Emily Play with Pink Floyd. That's a good one.
Mhm.
It's very evocative, you know, of a certain kind of
Yeah.
psychedelic
Absolutely. I
out there
didn't
thing.
hear
going on.
that one until I was probably about 12. Though. So I was practically a grown up in village terms. I was already up chimneys. Like
Yeah, you're in the mine.
Yeah,
You had been for quite some
I
time.
wasn't working up. I just liked chimneys. What else?
I'm just trying to remember. I'm looking at my phone because I don't remember what I'm going to say.
See
Carry
Emily
on.
play.
And there was another one.
Children by Robert Miles.
No, it wasn't that.
Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter.
It was definitely not that.
She Shook Me All Night Long.
That was the one.
Yeah. Which
It's
is
like now I remember.
Child protection issue there.
It just came to me in a flash. Birthday by the Sugar Cubes. Dude, that is a weird fucking song. What is going on there?
That's a weird song.
You know the lyrics to that?
Yeah. I lie in my bed totally still.
No.
No,
that's a totally different song. No. This is the one for copyright
What's the
reasons.
one I'm
We
thinking
can't
of then?
play it, although I could get the guitar and pretend to be Björk, but that would be really weird.
Do it.
That's a Björk song. No, that would be.
No, the Sugar Cubes.
Aye.
Oh, can't remember.
No, that's anyway.
It'll come to me.
Well, anyway, it's a song about and you can listen to this if you don't believe me. Go on Spotify and put it on Birthday by the Sugar Cubes. So that was Björk's first band. Well, not actually, it wasn't her first band. She was in a anarchist band called Coogan.
She was in the Beatles as well, wasn't she?
She wasn't in the Beatles. No, she wasn't. No.
Different Björk.
Yeah, that was Ringo you're thinking of.
Ah, yeah.
So this song, it was a huge hit at the time in indie charts. You know, the indie kids loved it, but it appears to be about a predatory paedophile, and no one seems to really have picked up on that.
Right, lyrics.
Right, okay, but I can't recite all the lyrics. I'm sure viewers can do that for themselves.
Well,
Okay, so the guy's got a beard. Right, she's 6 years old. Right, tells you the lyrics. It might be 5. The singer is 5 years old.
Right,
but he's also Björk.
Uh-huh.
And the guy that lives next door is a guy with a beard.
Right, obviously.
That plays with all the time.
Obviously, I've got a beard.
And no, not only that, self-confessedly, he sewed a bird into her knickers.
What kind of bird was it?
I don't know.
They could have given a thrush.
Yeah, so strange song. I don't remember anyone actually commenting on that.
Maybe that's like a common practice in Iceland, though, for a cure for the flu or something.
And embroider their underwear. Why would you do that?
Maybe it was an actual bird, like a puffin or something. They sewed it into, I don't know.
That would be potentially painful. Yeah. Well, they do like puffins, don't they?
They do like puffins, yes.
Have you been to Iceland, Derek?
I've been to farm foods.
There we go. Yeah,
I've never been to Iceland.
You know, it's a very very beautiful place.
I've had a friend that lived in Iceland, and he told me all about it.
Okay.
I would like to go, but what was it like?
What did he tell you?
He told me the price of a pint was about £10.
It's insane.
Yeah.
The price of anything is ludicrous.
Yeah.
Burger and chips cost you £25.
That's ridiculous.
It's insane. We ended up actually having to just get all our food out of there's a local budget supermarket in Icelandic level, and just eating out of that because you couldn't afford to eat anywhere.
So was the frozen food centre called Scotland?
Yeah. How did you guess? And also very hard to buy alcohol in Iceland.
Is it?
Yeah, there's government shops, only places you can buy it.
Wow, yeah.
Yep. Loads of people freak about to take a journey out to the airport to buy alcohol because it's the only place that you can buy it that's reasonably priced. And by that, I mean, dearer than here.
Yeah, well, the airport here would be the last place you go for a carry out, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, that'd be completely insane.
Quid for a cup of coffee.
But yeah, well, starting around waffle licenses within airports.
The guy I knew that lived in Iceland, he said they used to get the boat to Greenland to do all the shopping.
Really? It's a long way to go.
I know. Well, I don't know. How far is it?
Perhaps someone of you could tell us.
No geography lesson on the map. It's like that. So, I don't know.
I think it's the one I heard about was people in Helsinki in Finland get the ferry over to Estonia.
That's right.
To do their shopping.
2 things I know about Estonia. You can get a half pint of vodka for 17p, and you can buy a designer dress for £1.
The first one I'm prepared to believe. The second one I find hard.
I'm not saying it's like a real designer dress.
Designed by who?
I don't know, but it could be a Gucci, but spelled with a K.
Okay.
Or a CH.
I've got no problem with that kind of thing.
So like, I've got an idea. I've got a mental image of what that looks like in Estonia at the pubs.
Nice place. Ever been? Ever been there?
Never been to Estonia.
Should go to Estonia. Never been anywhere. He's never been anywhere.
I've never been anywhere.
No, really. It's never actually left Chris House at any point. Chris House is a small, tiny, pastoral village.
Yes,
the
it's
west
a
coast
lovely
of
place.
Scotland is.
And there's a river that runs through it, and like the water in there is so crystal clear, you can actually read the labels on the Buckfast bottles lying in the bottom.
Absolutely right.
Beautiful.
It's a bit like if you've ever watched Midsummer Murders. It's a wee bit like that, but without the midsummer.
Yeah. It's a lovely place. You go and visit it.
You absolutely should.
Take your friends.
Yeah. Very
classy pubs as well. The barmaids have all got their tattoos spelled correctly and everything.
Absolutely right. And they're known as the top pub and the bottom pub.
Yes. Well, do you know some?
But has that changed?
The bottom pub in Cross House now, it's shut, and then it was turned into a nursery for children. But now it is the centre for the Ayrshire Deaf Society.
So moving on, where are we, Derek? Have we got anything else we particularly want to talk about? Let's before we move on from our weekly theme. Anything else you would like to bring up?
Last night's dinner. No, good old teachers. Should we talk about teachers?
Let's talk about teachers.
Is that a new theme?
That's part of the old theme.
Is it? Right.
Childhood, growing up.
We were talking about a teacher, a mutual teacher we had at school, because I know it's hard to believe it because I'm so young looking. Like, but me and Ali went to school together.
Yeah.
And we had the same math teacher called Mr.
Kane,
who got called
wee stick.
Yes.
But it was kind of a what do they call that? Nominative determinism. You know what that is? Like a dentist called Mr. Molar.
Yes.
Or something like that. Yeah.
But he didn't have a cane.
He had a belt.
Yeah. Yeah, Mr.
Yeah, talking to him actually.
Frank Butcher. Was a used car salesman. That doesn't really work either. Yeah. If he was a book. Anyway, so the thing is, he was just a fantasist.
Yes.
Absolute fantasist.
He was. I think my recollection is he once told us that he'd cut off his hand in a threshing machine in a farm accident.
Yeah.
Does that remind you?
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
that?
And he had two hands.
But he had his boot. He was like that.
Yeah, that's one. This is the one I cut off.
He'd run this side. He'd run this side.
Yeah, that's one. But he also would threaten us by saying "You do what you're told," because I was in the SAS.
Yeah,
and I could kill you with the flick of a wrist.
He was about 5'3". He was a small man.
Do you remember his hair?
It was very white.
He had white hair, but it looked as if someone had sculpted it out of
Ice
cream.
Yes, Mr. Whippy.
A Mr. Whippy.
Mr.
Hair.
Whippy.
Yeah.
He wasn't a bad man.
He wasn't a bad man.
He used to like to beat children,
but that didn't make him a bad person.
But who doesn't?
Yeah. But the math teachers at that school were amazing. There was one called Mr. Murphy. Remember him? Who got called affectionately Mingy Murphy. Yeah, because he was stinking. But he used to disappear into his cupboard and come back out staggering about and reeking of whiskey. And we couldn't figure out what he was doing in there. Yeah. Yeah,
you were in a very, very low grade class.
Yeah, I was.
Didn't able to comprehend what was going on.
We did sums. We still did sums in secondary school. 1, 1. And so we locked him in the cupboard. And as far as I know, he's still there.
That was your class?
That was our class.
It was in the bad boys class, though.
We were the bad boys.
Very bad people.
Yeah.
I wasn't even allowed in the bad boys class.
We weren't bad enough.
No.
Yep.
Failed. Who's the guy that used to ride a wee motorbike?
Harry Honda.
Very, very affectionate. He was also very affectionate, but extremely effeminate man. So a school in Kilmarnock, you're in the wrong place in life.
The thing is, that was it was lulling you into a false sense of security, because we caught him one day serially dropping pens on the floor so as he could look up the girls' skirts.
Really?
Yes.
I think everybody. I think he was hiding in plain sight,
which was a surprise. We also locked him in the cupboard.
He was a sort of a Jimmy Savile type figure. I don't want
But he also got locked in the cupboard.
I suggest that the crimes of Harry Honda were in any way similar to that which Jimmy Savile undertook. Some man do Jimmy Savile.
Channel 5 are actually making a series about Harry Honda. The untold story.
Anyway.
I took them and I did all the things I wanted to do with them. And they locked me in the cupboard. But I burst out that closet. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. But Jimmy Savile, though, Jimmy Savile, as serial paedophiles go, he was the best, wasn't he?
He was the best, yeah. I don't think there was any argument about that.
He was absolutely astonishing. Again, very good book I could recommend. It's called In Plain Sight. It's about Jimmy Savile. Fascinating how he went about manipulating and gaslighting the entire country for the best part of 30 years.
Now, he was like a celebrity pimp or a pimp for celebrities. He got like young children for.
Yeah, well, apparently,
allegedly,
you also need to be quite careful what you say.
Allegedly. Well, he's dead, so.
Yeah, but it just depends what celebrities you're planning on bringing up there. That's my concern.
No, I'm just saying.
Mention any celebrities
or
name.
Members of the royal family.
Or do impersonations.
Can we mention dead celebrities?
No, you can't. No.
Well, I don't have anything to say then.
So that was. So, and our understanding is that there's about to be a dramatisation of Jimmy Savile's life starring Steve Coogan.
Steve Coogan?
Yep.
Surely Boris Johnson. He's got the hair.
Can he act? Can Boris Johnson act?
That's not real, is it, what he's doing?
Yeah.
Is he like a real person?
I think it's some kind of reality show. I think it's, he's...
Is Boris Johnson a real person?
Yes, he's real.
Wow.
He was a journalist at one time.
Nobody told me that. Well, I just thought somebody made him up.
So, anything else? What have you been watching?
What have I been watching? I watched the football on Saturday night.
Okay.
What a game!
What a game indeed!
What a game! And Scott McTominay scoring in the 94th minute.
94th minute, yeah.
That was amazing.
Absolutely.
I just don't understand what's going on with Scotland.
Uh-huh.
Surely the other team, Israel, should have scored against Scotland in the 94th minute. That's normally what happens.
Normally happens, absolutely.
So what's going on?
Well, what I liked was the irony of the Israeli player who faked an injury to have the goal chalked off that London Dykes scored, and then he spent so much time rolling around in the ground pretending to be injured that was the time he got added on, and that's the time in which McTominay scored the winning goal. So the ironies were all
brilliant.
Yeah,
it's brilliant. I think that's a very good point. I just thought they had to go and look at the VAR.
It was a very, very good performance in the second half.
Thank Buddha for VAR.
Indeed. That's 2 games in a row now with her bacon has been saved. Not what your granny's bacon.
My granny's, that's different kind of bacon. And also I watched the boxing, like Tyson Fury.
Boxing, I struggle a bit. I find it hard to watch boxing.
It's grown men punching each other in the face.
Well, it is, yeah. And I could see that anytime. They'll just go in the street.
Well, yeah, but this is like in a ring and there's lights and they're half naked.
It's less brutal. Yeah, okay.
But there was a bit in it, and you can go on YouTube and see this where like Tyson Fury got knocked down. For those people who don't like boxing, didn't see it. He got knocked down in the 4th round, and the punch that knocked him down, like there's a slow-mo of it on YouTube, and Deontay Wilder connected with it, and you can actually see the shockwave moving down Tyson Fury's blubber right down to his feet.
He's quite a big lad.
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
it's like Hokusai.
It used to be a sport that was heavily romanticised. I think people would talk about it a lot, and you get guys like Hugh McElvany, for example, another good Kilmarnock person who would write extensively about Muhammad Ali in particular, and those guys back then. When professional boxing seemed quite a romantic, quite exciting, noble profession, but increasingly it seems to me to be a bunch of big fat guys coming out of retirement looking just chasing after one final payday. There's not really any athletes there. If you go down the lower weight divisions, things improve a wee bit. You've got Josh Taylor there.
Well, it's a good Scottish boy.
Yeah.
Undisputed world champion at the moment, the only one in Britain, in the UK.
Absolutely.
But
Ring Magazine recently
named him number. It's not a homosexual magazine.
It's
just got to point that out.
Absolutely not. It's purely
different.
It purely contains pictures of men stripped to the waist.
And if that's what you're looking for, this is the wrong channel for you.
Indeed.
Go to my channel, which is deskysbuild.com. Anyway, sorry, Alan.
Anyway, I'm saying, yeah. So you get into what was I saying?
Something about rings.
Yeah. Ring Magazine, which is a magazine very much about boxing. Named him as the 5th pound-for-pound best boxer in the world today.
Who's that?
Josh Taylor.
Josh Taylor, yeah. I could believe that.
It's quite cheap.
Who was first? Was it Usyk?
Yes.
Yeah. And Canelo must have been up there as well.
I think he was 2nd.
Right. Who was 3rd?
I don't remember.
Right.
Maybe look it up. So if you want to just check out ringmagazine.com.
Yeah, not Ring Peace Magazine.
Don't blame me. Anyway.
Can I tell you a story about
Yes,
that?
you can.
Like,
I was hoping you would say that.
It was similar to the similar kind of thing, just about this kind of miscommunication with language. Now, my ex-father-in-law, soon to be, I'm divorcing him. He lives away in the country somewhere up north.
No wonder.
And they moved into this house and they had a well outside.
Mm.
It's when his kids were quite wee. Like they got the water out of it, but the mother got like some kind of disease from the water. You might know about that. Well, didn't you used to go around poisoning people's wells?
You call me a witch?
Well, that's the pointy cap fits.
Really,
But anyway,
Halloween.
the mother got poisoned from this well, so the dad kind of thought, I'm going to cap that off. So,
A bit late for that, isn't it?
well, he thought like the children might
Fall in it.
grandkids might disappear into it. So he thought, I'm just, it's getting capped off, and that's it.
So it took a
So,
death.
being like a tech savvy grandpa, he went on his computer and typed in manhole. Be careful, kids.
Yeah,
That's all I'm
absolutely.
saying.
Just be very careful and watch out for the parental filter.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about me? What have I been watching? What have I been doing? I've been watching along with almost it appears the entire planet. I've been watching Squid Game. Derek, you watched that?
Nope.
Okay, this could be a long show. It's basically kind of Hunger Games type scenario where very poor people,
But it's Korean.
that are Korean, yes,
Yeah.
end up volunteering to play violent games in which many of them are killed in order to win a huge sum of money. And its early episodes are tremendous. They're very, very good, very satirical. There's a lot of comment being made around nature of capitalism, how it corrupts people and greed and the destruction of people by capitalism. Makes a lot of good points about that. And then it all falls to shit in the last few episodes. It goes really, really bad. It's some of the worst acting that I've seen outside of a porno movie.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's really, really terrible. There's some Americans turn up. And obviously,
that's it gone now. They want to buy it.
Well, no, they come along. That's who it's all been done for. So it's a bit hostile. It's hardly original. So I was disappointed with that straight away.
It's getting broadcast on American television. Is that?
No, it's on Netflix.
No, I mean in the actual thing.
No. The Americans are the rich businessmen who pay the money to watch people kill each other.
They're not watching it on television though.
No, they arrive on the island for this is all hell.
So they're just watching it from a room somewhere.
Well, they could, that's not really the most important.
How they got binoculars?
No, they don't need binoculars. They can see it.
How can they see it?
Look at a window.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's important. So where's the squid then?
There's no squid. It's a figurative squid.
Right.
It's a bit like apparently. Really off a tangent here. Apparently, Korea, the Squid Game is similar to British Bulldog here.
Right. British Bulldogs, you're kind of running at each other.
Yeah.
And boosh.
Yeah, you're going to pass the line.
So you can imagine two bulldogs running at each other. It's going to boosh. Two squids.
No, it's not just two squids. So that would just burst.
I know. I don't see it.
You've just squid everywhere.
What is the plural for squid anyway?
Corrink.
Squids.
Corrink.
Squids.
Ink.
Squids.
Ink.
Squids.
You ever seen a squid in real life?
I seen one like down the market once.
Yeah. If you that.
No, I wasn't like chopping about. It was on a stall in a market.
Yeah, was he walking in its
No, I wasn't.
tentacles?
Well, wait, mate. What are you doing? Being squid like it was there, but it wasn't a giant squid.
Okay.
It was about that size.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah, so you can eat them. Apparently, I don't know.
You can, and they're absolutely delicious if they're cooked properly.
Hello?
Yeah, very, very tasty. But they tend to be a bit rubbery.
Yeah.
Yeah. I nearly got thrown at a Japanese restaurant for making that comment once.
Yeah.
They asked me how I enjoy my food, so it's a bit rubbery. Threw me out.
Yeah. Did you? No. You didn't do the accent, did you?
No.
No.
There'll be a lampshade in my head. So, anything else? Anything else you've been up to in the last week or so?
Not really. I think I watched the boxing and then I've just been because it was on until about 6:30 in the morning, Sunday morning. So I've been sleeping quite a bit.
Okay.
I had a good sleep, very good sleep, and strange dreams that you have.
Okay. This is the kind of premium content that we're actually going to move to a pay-per-view model pretty soon because of this kind of thing.
I think people would pay for that.
I think they would, yeah. Tell me about your dreams, did it? Just maybe a sentence I never thought I would ever have to say in my life.
Well, now you're asking. I have like strange disjointed dreams.
Right.
Yeah, and it was one where I was sort of on a football park. I think it might be something to do with the Scotland match.
Okay.
But there wasn't any football being played and the stadium was empty.
Okay.
And it was on a bed in the middle of a football park,
I see.
and what do you call him? The short wizard, Paul
Daniels?
Daniels. Yeah, Paul Daniels was there,
He's not a wizard.
isn't he?
No, he's a magician.
What's the difference?
No, a wizard's sort of, like Gandalf.
That wasn't
You know, it's
Gandalf.
a wizard has actual supernatural powers. A
That
magician doesn't claim that.
It wasn't Gandalf.
Anyway. Paul Daniels, yeah.
Yes, Paul Daniels, the guy from
Was
Quadrophenia.
David McGee there?
No, she wasn't. That was the funny thing was, it was like, where's Debbie?
Yeah.
Paul.
The lovely
And
David McGee.
I didn't say anything. He just showed me a card, and it was like the Ace of Hearts. And then I woke up naked, and
Well,
and
you
that
were in
was it.
bed, hopefully. Or were you in a bus?
I was on a bus.
We
What's
need-
the strangest thing you've
probably
eaten?
A wee bit more content. The strangest thing I've ever eaten was a bat curry.
A bat
A
curry.
bat curry, although I never
Was that
actually
in Wuhan?
it was there. It was in the
Wuhan?
island of Sulawesi in Indonesia,
Right.
in a place called, oh God, I forgot the name of it, Tantana.
Coatbridge, right.
And the island of Sulawesi is an interesting place because there is no wildlife, because the locals
Have
eat
you eaten it all?
absolutely everything
Yeah.
that they possibly can.
That's what happens.
There's no living things in the entire island. Everything's eaten.
You just kept eating a lot.
Yeah, including bats, mice, rats. You'd see a rat stick,
That's what happened in Easter Island.
but they ate all the rats.
They ate everything. Chopped the trees down to move the things, and then
Yeah.
nothing grew.
It's one of those mysteries, isn't it? One of the great
Yeah.
mysteries. Who created these island heads?
Was that the most horrible thing you've eaten? Or the most interesting thing you've eaten?
It was utterly, you couldn't eat it. I mean, it's just, it was there. I
Yeah.
didn't actually eat it. I'll put my hands up.
The most horrible thing I've eaten, and it was a bet.
Mm.
It was in Israel, and they brought a big tray of brains out,
Okay.
like actual small sheep's brains, in this gravy, and I was just, but the bet was a bottle and a half of wine, and I was like, right, gaze the thing here, and I ate it, and it was the most disgusting thing ever. I had the consistency of rotten mushrooms. I don't know if you've ever eaten rotten mushrooms.
Never have. Never
Neither
have.
have I, but that's what I imagine they would feel like, this kind of mushy. Wow, it was horrible.
Well, they cooked.
The mushrooms.
No, the
they
brains.
were imaginative. The brains, yeah. They were in gravy. I assume they were cooked, but they're absolutely horrible.
Because you can like fry them.
Yeah.
You can fry brain.
I've seen Hannibal, and he fries the brain in
Oh,
there.
of course, yeah. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yep. It's sweet meat, sweetbreads.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, you can eat somebody's pituitary glands. Cannibalism. There's maybe something we could talk
Something
about.
we could explore later on.
Yeah, I think that's worthwhile doing.
Cannibals aren't all bad.
Uncle
It's maybe like what a way to solve like hunger in the world. Bring back
Cannibalism.
cannibalism. Here's an idea for you, and I know it's radical, right?
Mm.
So but listen, hear me out. Why don't we take all the prisoners in jail that are there for life? They'll never get them back out. Okay. So we take all of them. There's loads of them, and we could eat them. We cook them.
This is radical.
Yeah, we cook them.
Pretty Patel, are you watching?
Yeah, we cook them, and then we use them to feed the homeless.
Okay.
Yeah, or the starving people of the world.
Yeah.
And then the cells that are freed up,
Okay.
we can put the homeless people in them.
So you're advocating imprisonment of the homeless?
No,
Having force-fed them human beings?
I know that's what it sounds like.
It's
I did
very
say it
much
was
what it sounds
radical.
like. Yeah.
I did say it was
so you
radical.
want to put them in jail. Is this your idea of helping the homeless or just incarcerating them?
Well, it's to get them off the streets, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't like them much?
I think they're fine. But they make the place look untidy.
Oh,
They bring the house prices down.
Say that to anybody, really.
No, I just thought it was a nice, neat, and sort of solution to a problem.
Well, it certainly seems to be, and it's one I think that bears some consideration, especially if you're a Conservative politician.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that, I think we've drawn things to a close. We've thoroughly enjoyed talking to you tonight, and we'll be back again very soon with another edition of the Limited Sex Appeal podcast. Derek, any closing words?
Be careful out there, and if you're homeless, I mean, I don't have computers, are they?
No, they don't have computers.
That doesn't matter.
They used to, you would see them watching the TV in Curry's window.
That's right. That's another thing from
That's a
childhood.
traditional thing. Yeah.
Curry's window.
Yeah, Curry's window. Football results, you'd stand in on a Saturday afternoon for maybe half an hour.
Yeah, eating your chips.
Yep.
Have a old newspaper.
You'd cheer.
You would cheer.
You would cheer. You'd see the result come up and you go, hey! Hey! Woo! Okay, so that time has
Alistair?
come.
Closing words, summaries.
Summaries, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think. Yeah, I do think I do think occasionally.
Okay. So thanks for listening and watching, or possibly both at the same time, depending, what kind of
How clever you are.
or what sort of senses that you have in operation.
Uh-huh.
And we'll speak to you again soon. And here's the outro, Ian.
Education Bereft.